Genesis 6, verse 4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men, which were men of old, men of renown. This is not about the origins of the giants. This is strictly about whether or not we believe they existed, and why so many different tribes have so many different names for all of these giant creatures. One as such is the Mui, a man-eating ice giant of the Lenape legends, or the Wendigos, evil man-eating giants of the Anishinaabe. The Kaloa are a giant hairy man-eating ogre from the Creek storytellers, or the Kioku of the Micmac tribe. The name Kioku is because they were so big that when they walked around, it felt like an earthquake. The Stone Coat, those having the name given by the Iroquois for the rock giants twice the size of humans, and they also hunted throughout winter and ice, and they had hard rock scales that were strong enough to repel all weapons that were thrown at them. One such story is that written by the Paiutes. Among the traditions of our people is one of a small tribe of barbarians who used to live along the Humboldt River. It was many hundred years ago. They used to waylay my people and kill and eat them. They would dig large holes in our trails at night, and if any of our people traveled at night, which they did, for they were afraid of these barbarian people, they would be oftentimes fall into the holes. That tribe would eventually eat them. They would eat their own dead. Yes, they would even come and dig up our dead after they were buried, and would carry them off and eat them. Now and then they would come and make war with my people. They would fight, and as fast as they killed one another on either side, the women would carry off those who were dead. My people say that they were very brave. When they were fighting, they would jump into the air after the arrows that went over their heads, and they would shoot the same arrows back at us. My people took some of them into as their families, but they could not make them like themselves. So at last, they made war on them. This war lasted for a time. Their number was 2,600. The war lasted some 3 years. My people killed them in great numbers, and what few were left went into the thick brush. My people set the brush on fire. This was right above Humboldt Lake. Then they went to work and made tule and dullbrush boats and went into Humboldt Lake. They could not live there very long without fire. They were nearly starving. My people were watching them as they round the lake and would kill them as fast as they would come onto land. At last, one night, they all landed on the east side of the lake and went into the cave near the mountains. It was the most horrible place, for my people watched as the mouth of the cave, and they would kill them as they came out for water. My people would ask them if they would be like us, not to eat our people, not to be like coyotes or beasts. They talked in the same language, but they would not give up. At last, my people were tired, and they went to work and gathered wood and began to fill up the mouth of the cave. The poor fools. They began to drag the wood inside the cave until it was full, not knowing what my people would do. At last, my people set it on fire, and at the same time they cried out to them, "Will you give up and be like man, and not eat our people like beasts? Please say quick, and we will put out the fire." No answer came from the cave. My people said they thought the cave must have been very deep or far into the mountain. They had never seen a cave, nor knew it was there until then. They called out to them as loud as they could, "Will you please give up? Say so or you will die." But no answer came. Then they all left the place. In 10 days, some went back to see if the fire had gone out. They went back to my 3rd or 5th great-grandfather and told him that they all must be dead. There was such a horrible smell. This tribe was called the People Eaters, or the Siteka. After my people killed them all, the people around us called us Seido Kara. It means the conqueror. It also means enemy. I do not know how we came with the name the Paiutes. It is not an Indian word. I think it is a misinterpretation. Sometimes we are called the Pine Nut Eaters, for we are the only tribe that lives in the country where the pine nuts grow. But my people say that the tribe we exterminated were very large with reddish hair. I have some of the hair which has been handed down from father to son. I have a dress which has been made in our family and kept for many years, trimmed with the reddish hair of the giants we had to slay.